This YouTube video creating workflow has allowed me to create 10 plus videos a day without breaking a sweat. This is the exact same workflow that I share with all of my real estate agents that are trying to get on YouTube and start generating some leads en masse. Take Franco as an example. In 20 months, he's been able to amass over 53,000 subscribers and over 7 million views, along with 1 million watch hours, which is astronomical. But what's even more astounding is that he gets over 25 booked appointments every single week only from YouTube. So make sure to stay to the end and get the exact blueprint that he's using. The first part of your workflow, especially in real estate, is brainstorming. You have to think about the videos you're going to create ahead of time, not only because they're going to be better, but really you want to understand what you're going to need in order to record the videos. So as an example, it's not the same to record a property tour video where you go to the property and record the entire thing, and an interview with the lender or a title company or an insurance rep. That's going to require a different setup. So that's something that you need to take into account during the brainstorming session. But beyond that, in this session, what you're responsible for is accumulating as many topics, as many titles, as many possible videos to create. So at this stage, there really is no wrong answer. It's at the next step that we're going to start filtering out some ideas. Now, before we continue, I want to welcome you to my channel. My name is Jaime Resendiz, and I help real estate agents exponentially grow their business through actionable content. And I'm on a mission to help reduce the over 80% failure rate for real estate agents. So if you can hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell, it's going to really help us out. It's at the optimize stage where bad ideas go to die. This is where you start filtering out those ideas that you really have no capacity on executing on, or you really don't want to execute on altogether. And it's at the optimize stage that you need to answer for 3 questions. Is there traffic for this topic that I'm trying to cover? What's my thumbnail going to look like? And what's my title going to be? Those are the 3 things that you need to take into account. Because if you come up with a video idea that you think is so freaking cool, but there's no traffic, aka nobody is searching for it, then there's no reason for you to make that video. And you can use resources such as Keywords Everywhere, Google Planner, Google Trends, or YouTube auto completion itself. Those tools will help you identify if people are even searching for the topic that you're trying to cover. So that answers the traffic question, but the second thing you have to answer for is the thumbnail. The thumbnail is something that you want to conceptualize yourself, but you want to hire a professional to help execute on that design. And from the title perspective, again, that third question is, if you can't articulate in the title what you're going to cover in the video, then don't make that video. Because if you can't articulate what the video that you're creating is about, then don't expect the viewer to understand it for you. So let's apply this in practice. Let's say you had 10 ideas that you brainstormed that you thought were fantastic. But once you ran them through the optimize phase, again, remember, we need to understand the traffic, the thumbnail, and the title. Once you go through and optimize, you realize that you probably only have about 4 quality videos to produce. So you went from 10 video ideas that you brainstormed down to 4 videos that you can actually execute on. Well, now we're going to take those 4 videos that we plan to execute on, and now we're going to take them to the next step, which is scripting. This is where we start understanding what we're going to say in that video. Now you can write out everything word by word if you choose to, or you can create bullet points in order to execute on that video. Whatever feels more natural to you is what you're going to end up doing. As an example, this is what I'm using to create this very video. As you can see, I only have a few words as visual cues on what I actually want to cover. Because I've done so many videos in the past and I've covered this specific workflow in other presentations, I feel comfortable explaining it to you with just a few words. But you don't have to do it this way. If you want to write out everything, if you want to script everything out word by word and then use a teleprompter and read it, you can absolutely do it. That works just fine. So again, you're going to take those 4 videos and you're going to script all of them out. This is very important. We're doing what's called batching, where we're working on multiple videos at once. So we're taking those 4 videos and we're scripting all of them at once. And after we're through scripting, we get to the fun part, which is recording. This is where we make it to the front of the camera. This is when we start recording. So just select a day and select the time block that you want to start recording your videos. Because by the time you show up to record, you're basically the actor at this point. Because the idea has already been brainstormed, there's already been some optimization on what needs to happen, on which videos are actually going to make it, and you already have the script ready to go. Now you just have to record. And it's this preparation that allows you to make videos so much faster. Because during your brainstorming, you were coming up with ideas that could be executed on location if you choose to record that way. Or if all of your videos are talking head videos like you're seeing right here, then you're able to execute on all 4 videos at once. Now, once you get the recording, you have a decision to make. Are you going to edit the videos yourself? Or are you going to hire somebody else to do it for you? In my earlier years, I edited everything. I was actually the one cutting things up. I was actually putting in the B-roll. I was adding the lower thirds, adding the music and all that fun stuff. And it took me a long time to let that go. It took me a long time to build that trust. Not in the editors. The editors were way better than I was, but it was more trust in myself and the business that I was building because I hadn't really seen that success story as a real estate agent out there dominating in their market. So I kind of had to go on faith that this was going to work. And thankfully it did. So if you end up editing yourself, that's okay. You're going to be able to go into the next stage. However, if you don't, then you're going to need to introduce a different step. You have to introduce the step of review because when that editor sends it back, you have to review that footage and you have to provide that editor any revisions that you want to see done. Now, I'm not saying that if you edit yourself, you're not reviewing your own footage. What I'm saying is if you are sending your footage over to an editor, then you absolutely have to review it yourself. Because when you're editing yourself, well, you're watching that footage over and over and over again. So you're already in the review stage itself. But anyway, once everything is done, now we get to the distribution. Now is when we upload our video onto YouTube. This is when we tie in that thumbnail. This is when we tie in that title. This is when we add the description. This is when we add the tags that need to go on YouTube, which in reality, this is one of those steps that can make or break your video. Because if you just throw your video out there without much context, without a proper title, without a catchy thumbnail, then you might have the best video in the world. But if nobody clicks on your thumbnail, if nobody starts watching your videos, no one's going to see them. If you use this YouTube workflow that I use for over 2 years to publish 1 daily YouTube video, I guarantee you're going to see some drastic results. You're going to get more views, which means more exposure. You're going to get more clients, which means more money.